Following the plagiarism scandal surrounding KMT mayoral candidate Jane Lee, the Ministry of Education is under pressure to get tough on academic ethics. The ministry has responded by naming 8 strategies it will pursue to make it harder for plagiarism or thesis ghostwriting to go unremarked in Taiwan's higher education.
They include punishing problem institutions by restricting their access to students and requiring schools to make transparent their mechanisms for choosing oral defense examiners.
我希望我的囡仔以后会当知错能改，所以我必须以身作则。
Lee apologizes in an attempt to salvage her campaign from the plagiarism scandal, but doubts over ethics in academia has spread further than her individual case. The Ministry of Education has been forced to make a statement.
系所不处理，或是经过教育部要求。
If academic institutions don't deal with it after being instructed to do so by the Ministry of Education, then the ministry will flag that as a factor to consider when deciding whether to reduce its student quota, suspend its enrollment, or adjust its subsidies.
The MOE has announced 8 new strategies it says will help enforce academic ethics. They include bringing department probes into a scheme to safeguard the integrity of academic honors, decreasing the number of students that can be enrolled at schools suspected to have plagiarism problems, and requiring schools to make public the proportion of the theses that are unavailable to the public, as well as how special oral defense examiners are chosen. If plagiarism persists, academic supervisors and entire departments will be held accountable.
原则上、方向上基本上都是正确的，而且
In principle, in orientation, and in its fundamentals, this strategy is correct. It is a solution tailored to this issue. The problem is, will academic supervisors or directors of studies enforce the rules strictly? It should be impossible for them not to discern whether students are plagiarizing based on their knowledge of the student's level and progress. Likewise for thesis ghostwriting. The responsibility need not be placed overmuch on the wider institution.
This NTU professor approves the 8 strategies, but he stresses that each student's academic supervisor as well as the heads of departments are key to stopping plagiarism.
选择口试委员只有2个人，一个叫做指导教授。
Only 2 people are chosen to examine the oral defense. One is the supervisor's recommendation and the other is approved by the department head. If there is no investigation mechanism for the department heads, then it becomes possible for the supervisors to abuse their position.
The Ministry of Education says that between 2016 and 2020, 17 students were stripped of their academic credentials after plagiarism.